So today I'm going to show you how we are lining the walls of the motorhome. If you'd just like to show the wall, we've insulated it, and you can see we've already started doing the boarding up on part of it. There are certain sections where you don't have to be too particular, like here for example is going to be the wardrobe in this corner, so we don't necessarily have to have this boarded up nice and neat, as long as we've got our structures for the wardrobe to base upon. So we're going to board it up right down to this point here, because this is all going to be under seating area, so this will just be boarded up with one single piece cut to shape, same as the back. So what we do is, first of all, we're going to be cutting these lats pieces. So we're measuring up to here. For example, we're going to need a length of 33 inches. So 33 inches. Head outside and I'll show you the pieces we use. It's tongue and groove, so it slots into each other. So you'll measure 33 inches, get a pen and put a little line. You want a nice straight edge, so you might use another piece of the wood just to mark a straight edge. Put the lid back on, otherwise it dries up. Then use the jigsaw with a fine blade because it goes through better. And when you've marked your hole, just draw a nice quick line through there and that'll be your slat. Okay, so for example, we've sawn our piece of wood with a jigsaw, wearing the safety goggles of course.
Very fetching.
We have to line up tongue groove. So sometimes you can put it in like that and put it up in the tongue groove, or you can feed it in through this side and slide it on. It doesn't always go to plan.
It sounds much easier than it actually is.
So slide that on. Sometimes the small pieces are better off just slid along and pushed in. So that will go up to there. Bear in mind this is the window edge, so you're really looking for a straight edge because you're going to be putting some nice fancy trim on there. And so down. So make sure it's pushed up. Line it up there's the window. It doesn't matter about that end because the wardrobe's going there. We have a slat. As you can see, there's a little bit of flexibility. You don't really want that because if you screw that the wall like that, the next piece won't really line up properly because it won't go into the back of the tongue groove. So we use a couple of very small pieces of cut-offs and just slip them in the back and then tack that on with the little cut-offs behind it, so it makes this edge much straighter. So a busy afternoon boarding up this side of the van. It's all gone on pretty well. The bottom section in white is the seating will come to the height of the decking wood, so the bottom section doesn't really matter that that's decked. Still got all the back wall to do yet, but that's okay. Few little gaps here and there, mainly at the tops and the edges, but they're all going to be filled. A couple more electrical components installed. Where the wire runs down, I've tried to keep a little bit of a gap because if there's a wiring problem, it will be easier to get to access to the wires. So I've left a bit of a section down here open as well, which gives us access to some wires. So yeah, all in all, a good productive afternoon. And it's actually starting to take a little bit of shape in the back. When the ceiling is all boarded as well and panelled, because that's probably going to be the next job, it will all be painted in undercoat white, the same as this side, before we decide what top coat we're going to do. So onwards and upwards.